The Dutton Ranch is hanging by a thread, and Donald Whitfield is tightening the noose. His latest scheme is more than just a power grab. It is a full-scale war against the Duttons. With an army at his side and a ruthless plan in motion, will the ranch survive his sinister attack? Let's find out. The Sinister Plot. The drama is heating up in Montana, and Donald Whitfield is at the center of it all. Played by the legendary Timothy Dalton, Whitfield is busy schmoozing with America's wealthy elite, selling them on his grand vision for Paradise Valley. But here is the catch. This luxurious experience he is pitching does not cost a dime to create because it already exists. His plan is a three-phase transformation that will sound eerily familiar to longtime Yellowstone fans. First, an airport in Bozeman. Next, a massive road network cutting straight through Paradise Valley and all the way to Yellowstone National Park. And the cherry on top is a lavish winter resort. Within moments, the money starts flowing and Whitfield's face lights up with pure greed. But here is where things get complicated. Banner Creighton, played by Jerome Flynn, pulls Whitfield aside and points out a major problem. The land belongs to Jake Dutton. Whitfield seems unfazed, a classic start to a Yellowstone villain story. He smirks and reminds Banner that he still owes him an army to get what he wants. Yep, time to brace ourselves for an all-out war. Meanwhile, back in New York City, Alex Dutton is in for a nightmare. Alex is just minding her business in the bathroom when suddenly the terrifying man from the last episode appears. Before she can react, he grabs her, shoving her into a stall. What happens next is brutal. He rips away her money and personal belongings before unleashing a savage attack, leaving her beaten and unconscious on the cold bathroom floor. When Alex finally wakes up, she is in a panic. She rushes out, desperate to catch the train, but it is already moving. With no time to think, she runs after it and makes a daring jump, barely managing to hold on. But once she is inside, things do not get any easier. Disheveled, battered, and judged by the other passengers, Alex stumbles into her assigned room where she will be sharing space with a single mother and her kids. The woman takes one look at her and asks what happened. Alex, still shaken, pulls the blanket over herself and whispers the chilling truth. He took everything. All right, it's high time for Taylor Sheridan to make this woman's life easier. Yet the way things are going, it seems like our heroine still needs to surpass an obstacle or two. But fortunately, not everything is despair and gloomy back at the ranch. Burst of happiness. At the Yellowstone Dutton Ranch, tensions are running high as Jacob and Jack get to work on a life-or-death situation. The clan is preparing a device to keep Zane Davis still while Dr. Stephen Miller gets ready for surgery. Alice is desperate to stay by her husband's side, but Cara steps in, firmly pushing her out of the room. As the two women talk, the Davis children are outside building a snowman, blissfully unaware of the drama unfolding inside. Alex opens up about wanting to move to California, but Cara quickly shuts that down, warning her that a new place would only bring new problems. Alice is confused at first, but Cara lays it all out. Her family was targeted as a way to get to the Duttons, and men like Whitfield will always be lurking, waiting to take what is not theirs. Inside, the real nightmare begins. Dr. Miller puts Zane under chloroform and starts a gruesome surgical procedure to relieve the pressure in his brain. But just as he starts digging in, Zane wakes up. Panic sets in as he thrashes in pain, but Jacob and Jack are quick to hold him down. The doctor pushes forward, extracting the fluid, and just like that, the agony is over. Finally, good news! Zane, head wrapped in bandages, slowly gets to his feet and takes a few steps. The pressure is gone. Relieved, Jacob leads him back to his wife, while Jack praises the doctor, who admits he was not even sure the procedure will work. Then comes an unexpected turn of events, and a happy one. Jack, still riding the high of seeing Zane back on his feet, rushes to share the good news with Liz, but instead of being happy, Liz shuts him down cold. He calls her by an affectionate name, but she cuts him off with a heartbreaking response. "I am no such thing to you. Not anymore," she says. Ouch! Jacob catches wind of the situation and decides to step in. When he finds Liz, she explains that she gave Jack a choice, and he chose to stay instead of following her to Boston. Jacob does not sugarcoat things. He reminds her that the ranch is under attack, and to Jack, leaving would mean abandoning his family in the middle of a war. Then, in a rare moment of tenderness, Jacob tells her that Jack sees her as his whole world. "The sun rises with you," he says, hoping she will reconsider once the winter is over. But then, something unexpected happens. Liz is due for another dose of the rabies vaccine, and as Cara prepares to give it to her, something feels off. The reaction is too strong. Sensing something is wrong, Cara rushes to get the doctor. That is when Liz receives life-changing news. She is pregnant. Overcome with emotion, she runs off to find Jack and tell him. The moment he hears the words, his anger disappears. The two embrace, their love seemingly restored in an instant. Watching from afar, Jacob takes credit for the reunion, bragging that his little talk with Liz must have worked. Cara humors him for a moment, but that victory is short-lived. Just then, Jack's voice rings out as he excitedly announces, "Liz is going to have a baby." Jacob stands there, momentarily stunned, realizing that fate, not his words, sealed the deal. And just like that, a new chapter begins. Talk about a miracle or two. However, in another scene, the charge for the ranch officially begins. The battle begins. Banner finally drags himself home days later, and his wife Ellie is not thrilled. But instead of scolding him, she listens as he talks about a future for their family. Something he never thought was possible. When he hints at the dirty work it will take to make that happen, Ellie does not even flinch. She is all in. With her blessing, Banner heads straight back to Whitfield's mansion, ready to prove himself. He confidently announces that he already has 35 men willing to take on the Duttons. Whitfield is not impressed just yet. He wants to know why Banner failed the first time. Banner simply shrugs it off, saying he just needed a real reason to fight. That is all Whitfield needs to hear. He reminds Banner that legally they are covered since he has already paid off the Duttons' back taxes. If Jacob cannot cough up the money, the land is theirs. Then Whitfield drops a chilling secret. There is a county on the Montana border where the law simply does not exist. No jurisdiction and no consequences. It is the perfect place to make people disappear. Longtime Yellowstone fans will recognize this as the infamous train station, where bodies have been piling up for years. Now Whitfield is handing it over to Banner as his own personal dumping ground. Just then, Lindy comes in with breaking news. Christy is dead. Without hesitation, Whitfield orders Banner to take the body with him as practice. The cold, hard scene is not easy to watch, but it also sets a clue in place: the end of Whitfield. The Prophecy. Season 2 of 1923 drops a major clue about the dark origins of the train station, the notorious dumping ground where John Dutton and his men get rid of their enemies. In the episode Journey the Rivers of Iron, the show foreshadows how this unpopulated Wyoming region became a deadly solution for the Duttons' problems. Here things become far more interesting. For the longest time, fans have believed that the train station was a unique Dutton clan thing. But nope, turns out, like the ranch itself, it was never theirs to begin with. Whitfield describes the place with no township, no private land, and zero population, making it a perfect location for getting rid of enemies. But here's the paradox. While Whitfield confidently orders the Duttons to be buried there, the tables may turn sooner than he expects. Given how things usually play out in the Dutton universe, it is far more likely that Whitfield himself will be the one taking a final ride to the train station, possibly with a little help from Banner. And we can't say we aren't excited to see that. Do you think Whitfield's end is nearing? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you soon.